love Bug. You can't see her. Oh, there she is. She got in there a little bit. We are just leaving the house.
Yeah.
And we're going to go pick up our half cow. So we're continuing our half cow adventure. And this is pretty much almost the conclusion as far as getting possession of it. We have 5 coolers back there. I hope it's enough. We have 2 large ones and then 2 like medium and then a small one. So hopefully that will hold everything. I didn't know what to expect. What we do know about the cow so far is the cow hanging weight for half of it was 199 pounds. So, which was dead on because the farmer had estimated that it would be about 200 pounds for the half cow. So 199 is pretty much dead on.
Yeah.
I have no idea how many pounds we are picking up in meat. Typically, from what I've learned, it's 60%. 60 to 65 is like really, really good percent of the hanging weight, which would make it about 120 pounds of meat.
Jeez.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
So hopefully that will fit in 5 coolers. And we will let you know. So when we get there, because it's just me and Josh, and we're strong, but we can't lift an entire cooler of meat. So I'm hoping we can like do boxes to the car and like put the meat into the coolers already in the car. That way we don't have to lift up a full cooler full of meat into the car.
Yeah.
That's my hoping. When we get home though, Jody is home so he can pull them out and then we can transfer them into our freezer. And if you have been following along, we have a 16 cubic foot freezer, chest freezer in the garage. It's huge and it's still empty. I have completely emptied it. I think we have 2 like hanging baskets that came with the fridge, and I've put a couple things in there, and I have 2 bags of ice just to keep it cool and to use the bags of ice. Hence, for these coolers, I do have like 1 or 2 bags of ice in each cooler to start cooling the cooler, so that when the frozen meat goes in there, it's already cold, and then also hopefully the ice will help keep it cold. The trip there is an hour long, and then a trip hour back, so it should only be out of the freezer for an hour. I don't suspect it will defrost much, and then we'll transfer it into the big 16 cubic foot freezer that we bought from Lowe's. And it has been working great. We've had it plugged in for over a month. It is very cold. I like the positioning in the fridge, in the garage, so I'm pretty happy with it. Yeah. We've done lots of research on recipes, so I've been saving recipes for different cuts of meat, which I will share, and those are super fun. I have a really good one for flat steak, so I'm super excited to try the recipe. I've been studying cuts of meat, and so we knew kind of what to order from the butcher when she called me last week. So just kind of give you the timeline, the cow, or it was a calf, it was only about a year old, 12 months to 18 months old, so he was smaller. He was butchered on the 1st of March. Today is the 13th of March. So typically they hang the meat for 14 days, but since he was so little, they didn't have to hang him for the full 14 days. So they called me on Thursday last week to get the cut sheet because they were going to cut him up into little pieces that we asked on Friday. And then he would freeze over the weekend, and then we pick him up today, which is Monday, the 13th of March. So I gave her the cut list. One thing we did request, and I'll be interested to see if they actually do this because I wasn't sure and they didn't charge us extra for it, was to get jerky. I asked for them to use one of the chuck roasts as jerky. So we'll see. Bless you. I think jerky makes him sneeze.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I got a couple roasts. I think we got 6 to 8 roasts. I took one of the big roasts and made it into hamburger meat. I'm a little nervous about not having enough hamburger meat. We seriously go 3 to 6 pounds of ground beef a week as a family. I do have the meat packaged in 1.5 pound packages because our family again goes 3 to 6 pounds. So I can pull out 2 packages and that will be 3 pounds, or I can pull out 4 packages and it will be 6 pounds. I thought 2-pound packages might have been a little too much. I didn't want us to waste meat, and then I also like being able to have 1.5 pounds or 3 pounds. So that's kind of why I did that. We did order bone-in ribeyes, which is super exciting. They did 2 per pack, and they're an inch piece, and then I got one that was not cut, so it's 2 inches thick. and it's bone-in ribeye. So I'm super excited about that. And we're going to cook that up for a special meal for us. Kind of like a tomahawk, but they don't have the full length of the bone. They're cutting it shorter. So it's just going to be a bone-in ribeye. And then we got T-bones, because from what she told me, our cow or calf was smaller than a typical steer. And so they weren't going to have a tenderloin, which I found very strange because tenderloin steak is like our favorite. But she said it was so small that the T-bone steaks that they were going to cut for us, the bone-in, was going to be all T-bones and no porterhouses, because the difference between a porterhouse and a T-bone, a porterhouse has a thicker fillet. And they said that they wouldn't have any porterhouses, which I found very strange, because I asked her if we got the bone out and just did strips and tenderloins, would we have any tenderloins? And she said no. So I found that kind of strange. So we'll see. Again, they're going to package those 1 inch, 2 to a pack. And I wanted to do it differently because with this being grass-fed, from all of the research I've been doing as far as cooking, we're going to have to cook steaks differently than how we normally cook in my family, because I normally cook them at a very high heat and I sear both sides for 4 minutes on either side, and it's amazing. It's really yummy. But with grass-fed, I've been told it can taste kind of tough when you do that, so it's better to just slow cook it and then reverse sear it. So you slow cook it, and then at the last couple minutes, then you sear the sides to get that crispy outside. So I'll be cooking the steaks a little differently with a grass-fed cow, which I'm fine with. I love trying new styles of cooking, and you'll be coming along with me on those recipes. But I also wanted to do just different cuts, because we do fillets usually by themselves, and we love those, and the 4 minutes on either side quick cook is a perfect way of cooking fillets. But since we're not going to have big, thick, huge fillets coming from this little calf, I was like, let's just do fun ones like T-bones and porterhouses, because that's a whole new cut for us, and we don't normally eat that anyway. So that's kind of the other thing. We also ordered cube steaks, and I'm really happy with those. We've been making those the last couple weeks just so the boys can kind of try them and see if they like them. And I'm excited to try them in a grass-fed calf. I'm just super excited to try all the meat. How about you, Josh?
I'm really excited too.
Yeah, I'm nervous that we're gonna like the taste and the texture may be a little different, but I think we're all gonna like it. But that's the reason why we did a half calf that's only 200 pounds, so that we're only getting 120 pounds of meat, because that is a family. We should go through that, I'm guessing, in 3 to 6 months, and then we'll try maybe a larger steer, a 2-year-old steer, and we can maybe possibly thinking of maybe trying a grass-fed grain finished. I found a farmer in Mississippi that's responsible, does not use antibiotics or hormones. The cows are treated really well, and they have a really decent price, so we may try them. But we'll see the flavor. I'll get the opinion of all the family members and see what they think, if they like the flavor, if they notice any difference, and then we'll go probably with a larger steer. That way we'll get about 350 pounds of meat, and that will last us maybe 8 months to a year. I don't know. I'm guessing how much this calf is going to last us, but we'll see. So that's kind of our update. We'll give you more video when we get there and when we get to see them. And then, of course, we're going to do the big video when we get back to the house. It may not be today, maybe another day, where we take it all out and lay it out so you can see every cut that we got, all the ground beef that we got, and we'll add it all up, and I'll show you the exact numbers of the breakdown of each piece of meat, how much it cost, how many T-bones we got, how much they weighed, and all of that, and then how much total weight we got. And then we paid $5.50 a pound for the hanging weight, which was what, 12? So my math is not always perfect here. So we had a 199 cow. You want to do the math on your calculator? Do you have a calculator? 199 pounds times 5.5. So it was $5.50 a pound we paid for the hanging weight. So, which I think is a really good deal. That included butchering costs. There was no added butcher fees to that. That included the butchering fees, which I guess is a Louisiana thing. I think in other states they charge you, the butcher has to charge you separately. In Mississippi, that's how it is. So the price is there. I have to pay twice, once to the butcher and once to the farmer. But here is $5.50 a pound. Did you get it? 199 We spent $1,094 on the calf, which is pretty good. But we need to figure out what the poundage is per pound that we're eating. So when we've added up all of the meat that we're bringing home, all the pounds that are going into these coolers, we'll take that and divide it by the 550 or the 1094, and then we'll let you know per pound how much we actually paid. I'm guessing it's going to be about anywhere from $7.50 to $7.80 a pound, which is way cheaper than store-bought meat. It may be a little more expensive than ground beef, but for fillets in the store right now, it's like $21 a pound for fillet. So I think that's going to be a really good deal, and it's local, grass-fed, grass-finished, amazing cow. So very happy, excited. We're going to not be buying beef from our grocery store for the next 3 to 6 months, which is amazing. And I've been told from everyone that gets these kind of cows that they never go back to the grocery store. So I'm looking forward to never going back to the grocery store. Anyway, signing out for now. We'll be back. Talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, we've just picked up our tenderloin. We've named our cow Tenderloin. But we just picked him up, and he is in all 5 of our coolers. I didn't get video there. I don't know why, I forgot. But we are just leaving. And we got there during their lunch break, so we had to wait a little extra. We got there at like 12:40, and they didn't open until 1. So I didn't realize they were closed for an hour for lunch. So we had to wait a little bit. But it was very nice, very helpful. The gentleman that brought out our meat was very helpful. He put every piece of meat in our coolers for us. I had put ice in the coolers in bags. I'm glad I put them in bags because he said we didn't need them because they're solid frozen. And the water condensation coming from the ice would take the wrappers off. Now they're in paper wrappers, which I knew we were getting, and I know a lot of my videos that I had watched and researched had said to make sure you get vacuum seal. So again, that's going to be part of our learning process. We just did the paper wrap. Now I think they wrapped it 3 times in paper, butcher paper, and it has a stamp on it to label it. So I will show you those pictures and show you more of that so you know what each cut is. We saw, what were some of the ones you saw, Josh, that you saw stamped on the paper?
I saw a T-bone. I saw ground beef.
Yeah. I saw some soup bones.
Yeah.
I saw rib bones, which I asked about because I wasn't sure if the rib bones are like soup bones where you just use them to make stock. But he said no, there's enough beef on it, so that would actually be a meal. So we'll have beef bones and probably slow roast them. He said you can make them like barbecue, so maybe slow roast them and then put barbecue sauce on them. So we'll try that. And then we got a huge bag of bones, and it was frozen, so it was very large. So that had to go in one of our largest coolers because it was frozen and there was no like changing the size of it. So we had to reorganize some of the meat packages because the only cooler that would fit the meat bones was the one that we had put the packages in. So we had to move those out of the pack, out of that cooler, and then put those in a smaller one, and then put the meat bones in the bigger one. So we did. We used all 5 coolers, and we have an hour drive home, so it shouldn't be too bad. They shouldn't defrost too much, and then they'll go straight into our chest freezer in the garage, which is a 16 square foot chest freezer. It is quite a bit of meat. I didn't see how many ground beefs that we had, but they had 2 like little cases of them, so I don't know. We'll count them when we get there. So we'll see. Yeah, I'll be interested to see how long this lasts our family. It was the amount of ground beef I was hoping for, so that was good as far as just look, because that is seriously what we go through. We go through 3 pounds of ground beef a week, and if I have these packaged 1.5 pounds each, that would be 2 of those packages a week. And I'm guessing we had at least 20 packages, so that would be 10 weeks, which is 2.5 months. So that would be rather quick to go through ground beef, but we'll see. And maybe we'll cut out some weeks of ground beef and do some of the roasts, because I did see roast. I saw an eye of roast, or roast we'll have to open one of those packages. That might be one that I do tonight, just to kind of see what it looks like tomorrow, because I'm not sure it's actually jerky, because they wouldn't have frozen it if it was jerky, right? I don't know, because I thought jerky is like preserved by the salt, and you don't need to refrigerate it. But we'll see. Maybe it's just flavoring. Maybe it's a jerky meat and they flavored it with like a jerky, which would be kind of neat too. And I saw a few of those packets, so we'll see. We'll maybe defrost one tonight and look at that the next day or so and see what that actually is. But yeah, I'm looking forward to trying some different recipes with some of these packages, and I'm really excited to be bringing him home. I will show some pictures of the packages. We'll show a video. We'll do a video of all of the meat laid out in one big pile, so you can kind of see how much a half a calf is, a 1-year-old calf, and what 199 hanging weight. I don't know what it's going to be. It's maybe about 120 pounds of meat going into our fridge, and I'll show you what that looks like, all laid out in one location, and then we'll do a video to break down how much of each cut of meat we got, like how many T-bones and how much that weighed, and how many roasts we got and so forth, how much jerky meat. And then we will be doing videos in the future about cooking all of these different things and recipes that I have gathered. I also want to show you, I have a tracker that I'm going to print up. It's in a spreadsheet and put on my freezer. So as we take the meat out, we'll be able to check off what we are using so we can see what's left in there. And then when we make the recipes, I'll have the family rate it with stars, and whatever the higher stars are, we'll reuse that recipe, and then the lower stars will be replaced with newer recipes. So we can kind of gauge, what the best recipes are for my family and for each cut of meat. And then also, I definitely want to do an organization video. I got some really awesome organizers to go inside the freezer that have handles, and they've got like strong sides, so they're not going to collapse in there, and it will make it so that my chest freezer items won't get lost in there. That's it. Anything to add, Joshy?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. What did you find at the butcher that you were so interested in?
Oh, I found kitty cats, and I was eating a Popeye's chicken sandwich, and I wanted to feed the kitty cat some of the bread, and so I put the bread on the ground, and I'm not too sure if they ate it, but...
Oh, we didn't get to check it, did we?
Yeah.
We should have got video of that too, but they ran off when you brought them the bread, right?
Yeah.
They were all interested when you threw it out the window,
Yeah.
but then when you walked over there to give them the bread, they ran off. They were scared.
Yeah, they probably ate it by now.
I'm thinking they probably ate it, yeah. But that was nice of you to think of them.
I'm allergic to cats, so...
Yeah, so he's not allowed to touch them. So he kept trying to convince me that if they touch him, it doesn't count, but that's not how it works.